Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is ACT3423, matric number ACT3423. So I will continue with agriculture company, which is Excellence Elia Berhad. First of all is the statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income. We have revenue, we minus with cost of sale, and we get gross profit, and we will plus with other income. Other income is interest income and dividend income. And then we will look for expense. We have depreciation expense for processing machinery and also transportation vehicle. Depreciation is at 10%. And then we have administrative expense, finance cost, entertainment, dinner for staff, interest expense, salary, EPF, and also donation. For entertainment was spent to entertain the current and potential client. And we have employee remuneration and also employee salary. This is EPF contribution and donation to Children Village Foundation. After that, we will plus all the expense and we will get total expense minus with gross profit plus other income and get profit before tax minus with income tax and then we get profit net of tax minus with other comprehensive income, which is change in fair value, and then we get total comprehensive income. Okay, this is the supporting document for Excellence in Young Berhad. We have company registration, donation, and also quality assurance and food safety certificates. This is the net salary that we have pay slip for owner, factory manager, worker monthly, and also farm worker. The second one is statement of financial position for Excellence in Young Berhad. We have non-current asset, which is land and building, processing machinery, we minus with accumulated depreciation. And then we have farming equipment, storage facilities, transportation vehicle minus with accumulated depreciation. And then after we sum up all of it, we'll get total non-current asset. And for current asset, we have biological asset, inventories, trade and other receivables, cash and bank balance. And then total up the current asset, we have total non-current asset. And we sum up the total non-current asset and total asset. Total current asset, we got the total asset. Next is equity and liabilities. We have current liabilities, trade and other receivables, lease liabilities, loan and borrowing. Next is non-current liabilities. We have deferred tax and lease liabilities. We total out the current liabilities and non-current liabilities. We get total liabilities. And we have equity attribute to owner of the company, which is share capital and retaining. And we sum up the equity. We have total equity, and we total the total liabilities and also total equity. We have total equities and liabilities, and then make sure the balance between total asset and also total equities and liabilities. For accumulated depreciation, this is the how we calculate the accumulated depreciation for process machinery and also transportation vehicle.
Good day, Dr. Shayuti. My name is Devrashni Ilango and my metric number is S67489. For group assignment for taxation 2, I will be explaining about computation of capital allowance and computation of agriculture allowance. First, I explain about computation of capital allowance. For capital allowance, we have processing machinery and transportation vehicle. All the assets being purchased by cash. For the QPE for processing machinery is 312,500. This QPE amount taken from the supporting document of purchase invoice of machinery. Initial allowance rate for machinery is 20% and the annual allowance rate is 14%. So we have to times with the QPE and minus it to find the residual expenditure. These steps will follow for the transportation vehicle also. The QPE for transportation vehicle is 156,215. This QPE amount taken from the supporting document of purchase invoice of vehicle. The initial allowance rate for vehicle is 20% and the annual allowance rate for vehicle is also same 20%. The total CA that can be claimed in 2023 is zero because all the capital allowance had been used up before 2023. Let's move on to the calculation of the agriculture allowance. For agriculture allowance, we have clearing of land, cost of land, construction of road, planting of crops, construction of labor quarter, and construction of store. According to the tax reference, for the clearing of land, construction of road, and the planting of crops under Para 2023, the rate of the agriculture allowance will be 50%. And the construction of the labor quarter under Para 2022A, the agriculture allowance will be 20%, and the construction of store under para 2022B will be 10%. 10%. So we have to times this 80,000 with the 50% of the agriculture allowance. We will find the agriculture allowance for the year. So after all the calculation, we will get the agriculture charge. The total agriculture allowance can be claimed on 2023 is zero because all the allowance has been used before 2023.
Okay, my name is Noamira Zaika binti Kamarul Zaman and my metric number is S67406. I will continue representing with statutory of income for year of assessment 2023. First, we take the net profit before tax. This amount we refer from statement of profit or loss and then add the non-allowable expenses where all of this item is non-allowable expenses that stay in our statutory income is under section 39, which depreciation expense for transportation vehicle and processing machinery and provision for doubtful debt include in expense that are not incurred. And for the entertainment, include in prohibited expenses, where for the entertainment that involves staff only can get 100% allowance. And donation also under section 39 and it is included in capital expenditure. And then we less interest expense and we will get the adjusted income. After that, we need to minus the allowance, but in this case, in the year 2023, there's no allowance left for us to claim. So zero for the allowance and then we will get the aggregate income. And then we only can minus 10% of aggregate income for the approved donation where we can refer it in section 44.6 of the income tax at 1097. And we need to choose the lower between 10% of aggregate income and donation. And we will get the chargeable income after we minus the approved donation. And for the chargeable income, we can refer it on para 2 ASME where it have its own rates that the Act have provided. And then last but not least, we will get the income tax payable after we times the tax rate with the chargeable income. And here I show you the evidence and the supporting document of the approved donation, certificate of appreciation that Excellency Dirian Berhad got in recognition of his generous cash donation, RM 10,000 to the Children's Village Foundation, present in 4 June 2023.
Okay, for manufacturing company, which is H2O Sdn Berhad, I will explain the statement included starting from SOPL. As you can see, this is how we do the statement. Now, I will explain about several notes that show where I got the amount. First note is other income. The amount for other income got from total dividend plus subsidiary loan. The second note are depreciation expense which the company buy the asset at 2013. This company just use a straight line method and useful life are 12 years. This is the amount depreciation for vehicle and machinery. Move to the third note which is employee benefit and it's more to EPF contribution for employees. As you can see, the amount for EPF is allowable because it's not exceed the amount of 90% from total salary expense. The next note are salary expense. In this part, I calculate the total salary for owner, manager and employees for the year, which 12 months and got the total salary expense. The second last note are donation. The company provide donation to Worldwide Fund for Nature Malaysia and the donation was approved under section 44.6 for 90,000. The last note are entertainment which the entertainment was spent to entertain the current and potential client. Next, for statement financial position, nothing much changed from previous presentation. We just add the amount for accumulated depreciation, which is for vehicle is 166,667 and for machinery are 333,333. From all the information, we got a balance amount for financial position which is 4225000. Next, for the capital allowance, the guideline used for office equipment is IA 20% and AA 10%, while for vehicle and machinery, we use IA 20% and AA 20% based on IRBM. The statement shows the office equipment can claim tax for 8 years from the year, but while vehicle and machinery can claim tax only for 4 years.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Tisina binti Muhammad Zaidi and I will be presenting about industrial bidding allowance and statutory of income of H2O Sdn Berhad. So this is the expenditure incurred by H2O Sdn Berhad, and from this we can use this to calculate the QBE, qualifying bidding expenditure, and exclude the cost of land and legal fees related to land. So we get the QBE 564000, and then for these two we're gonna do the 75% test and we get the percent is 16.67, which is lower than 75%, and we cannot claim the capital allowance. And the bidding was used as factory, office, canteen and employees living accommodation in the following proportion of 6 to 1. So from here the proportion of office is 2 per 10. So when we do the 10% test, we get the percentage for office is 20%. So it is more than 10%, so significant. So when we calculate the QBE, we're going to exclude the office column, and then from here, how we get this amount, we calculate it from the proportion given here and times by the QBE. So we will get all the total allowance for factory, canteen, and living accommodation. So next, I will be presenting statutory of income, which is first we have net profit before tax. We get this from the SO statement of profit or loss, and we add the non-allowable expense, which is the depreciation of vehicle. So the calculation of these two depreciation, we have this at the statement of profit or loss here. Okay. So next, for donation, we have 19,000, and this is the supporting document for donation form. We have here 19,000. So we less expense, which is research and development expense and interest expense. These two, we're gonna, after calculating all of these, the net profit before tax, add this and minus it, and we get the adjusted income 985,418. So next, for after that, we less with allowance, and here we have two allowance, which is capital allowance, industrial building allowance. So for capital allowance, the amount is 0 for YA 2023. We can see it from here. It is 0 because all the capital allowance had been used up before 2023. So for the industrial building allowance, we can see here, we add it from the calculation of industrial building allowance. For YA 2023, we add this, and also this. So we get the total 13,536. So the adjusted income, we less with the allowance, and we get the aggregate income 971,882. So we less with approved donation 10% of aggregate income. So 10% of aggregate income, we calculate it from here. So we compare with the approved donation and choose the lower between 10% aggregate income and approved donation. So here, the lower is approved donation, and we take the amount. So we minus that, and we get the chargeable income 952,882. So from here, on the first 150,000, we calculate 15% from that, from here, and we get 2,022 and 500. So for the balance on the next 150,001 ringgit and 600,000 on the balance, we take the 17% of that, and here we can see the calculation here. So we get 102,000 ringgit, and on the balance excess 600,000, we calculate it 24%. So we can see the calculation here, 24% minus 24% darab dengan 150,000 here. We already minus this because we gonna calculate the balance, and then for income tax payable, we're gonna calculate all of this and add here and add all of this. So we get the total of income tax payable 173,192 ringgit. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.